I don't know how much y'all gonna be able to see, but this is my view. That's my view. See all of that out there? That's the view. 360 view, so you got it on both sides. Let me see if I can change the audio really quickly. Give y'all a little bit of a tour. Yeah. Check it, check it. All right, y'all can still hear me. So I'm gonna try not to get too disconnected, but this is the tour. This is obviously we got the water out there. I'm in Miami, so you can see all of the buildings over that way. The design district is over that way. Play area, all of this over here. Got the swings, and then you got Miami Beach and all of that going that way. So if you go that way, you're actually going towards Miami Beach. You can see the airplanes flying over there. It's a vibe, right? And you know, we got the pools and all of that stuff here. So we here in Miami, y'all. We here in Miami. This is my home away from home. This is where I spend my winters. I love to be in the city. I'm not really a Miami Beach type. You see my glasses change colors because it's transitional. Last night, I'm riding through the streets because you guys know that I had to fly in after I took care of business, and then I landed and I got down here, and so they met me at the airport. They dropped me off the Lamborghini or whatever like that. And so as I'm riding through the streets, I check into my Airbnb, make sure everything is good, talk to Rita on the phone, and then I shoot out and I hit the streets, right? Now, let me tell you the interesting thing about the streets. The streets loves no one. I don't care where you at. I don't care if you're in Detroit. I don't care if you're in Miami, Los Angeles, Houston, New York, Baltimore, DC, wherever you are, the streets love no one. But one of the reasons why I decided to go and hit the streets is because I had to go and get me some Advil that was not packed in my bag. And so I had to go and pick me up this Advil in order to ensure that I even had a reasonable chance of getting at least a couple hours of sleep last night, right? But they got the CVS that's right down on Biscayne, and it's 24 hours, and so you go over there, right? And so obviously, I pull up to the CVS, I go in, I get my stuff, and in Miami, there is no shortage of women. No shortage of women, no shortage of opportunity. But the difference, though, is here in Miami, similar to some parts of LA, driving a Lamborghini is not like a big deal here. If you want to be a bigger fish in a smaller pond, then stay in smaller cities or cities where this is not just a regular part of the lifestyle. But it's Lamborghinis everywhere. It's Rolls Royces everywhere. It's McLarens everywhere. It's Benzes and S classes and Porsches and all of that stuff everywhere. Obviously, it's not going to be as many as you're going to find some Malibus and stuff like that. But this type of stuff is normal here, right? It's not out of the ordinary. But it doesn't change the opportunities or the mindset of the women. And that's what y'all have to understand. And I'm going to help you to understand it right now, right? Because most women down here in Miami is really two types of women. It's the ones that were born here, and most of the time they have some level of Spanish. They speak with an accent. They live here and they are accustomed to the lifestyle. And if they're in the spaces that you usually are in, when you're driving these type of cars, they know what it is that they can get themselves into. And so they always looking for a come up, right? I'm not naive enough to believe that at 12 o'clock at night, somebody is approaching me based off of my personality. I'm realistic. I understand what the money do. I understand what the Rolex do. I understand what the cars do. I understand what all of that do, right? I get it. I know what's happening. Ain't no woman, no Spanish woman, no black woman, whatever it is, white woman, they all out here. Whatever you want, you can have them. They're not approaching you based off of your personality at 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock in the morning going to get some Advil from the CVS. It's just a fact. But let me tell you the difference, though, right? So I go into the CVS. I go and pick up my Advil. It took me a little minute because I was in I don't know, it was like a Sudafed aisle or whatever like that. The cold and sneeze, they got it in the same aisle as, the Advil and stuff like that. And I can feel like they watching me. I could feel like it was two women watching me, right? And they wasn't watching me on no like following you type of stuff, but they was paying attention to where you was at and where you was gonna be at, and they knew where to be in order for you to walk out the door, so that they can then, act like, oh man, we just ran into each other. Like, I'm keenly aware of what the fuck is going on. Like, I'm not oblivious. I didn't get to be 41 years old and get to be rich as fuck by being stupid. You know what I'm saying? But they were really, really beautiful and nice looking women. But another thing that my father and my mother always taught me is that nothing is out past 12 o'clock unless you are at a specific event. Overwhelmingly, the majority of the time, nothing is out past that time but the devil. Nothing is out there but the devil. Real talk, right? And so, of course, you go and they act like they run into you and they run a little game or whatever like that. And so, I don't trip. I'm not going to be an asshole or nothing like that. I'm cool with everybody. So if you run into me in the streets and somehow you figure out that you don't like me or something like that, that's got to be on you, because there's never been anybody that's ever met me in person that can say that they don't love me. But I'm cool. I'm tripping. I mean, I'm chilling or whatever. I get my little stuff, put in my little CVS number, shooting out. So we sitting out there having a conversation or whatever. We talk for about a minute and a half, 2 minutes. I'm like, you know what I'm saying? I'm chilling. And they're like, well, let's just exchange information. I'm like, nah, I'm good. I'm chilling. Like, I got to, and I just brush it off. Like, I got a toothache. I'm just running out here. I got to get back or whatever. And so they're like, you sure? You know what I'm saying? Like, you sure you don't want to link up or whatever, blah, blah, blah. Nah, yeah, I'm sure. I'm cool. I'll holler at y'all. I go get in the car. I'm getting ready to drive off. It's a guy that pull up. He might have been like a football player or a basketball player or something like that. He don't look big enough to be a football player. But he was another black guy, but he was in a Rolls Royce, the Cullinan, the SUV, right? Same thing. Somehow, some way, when I'm pulling off, they having a conversation with him. So I just get curious, right? So I spin the block. And you know what the difference was between him and me? Is that when I spin the block and I come back through and I just ride past, I see him with his phone out, exchanging information, and his homie obviously got out the car and he's trying to talk to him too. How are y'all not aware? How are y'all not, especially dudes that get money? And obviously he looked a lot younger than me. He looked like he was in his late 20s or something like that. How do y'all not be keenly aware of female nature or the nature of women, or how it is that you getting finessed? I don't understand that. I've never, ever in my life, in my 40 plus years, 41 years of being on this earth, I've never, ever in my life gotten finessed by a woman. Not out of no money, not getting caught up in no scandals, not fucking up my marriage, not fucking up my bag. The first thing that I think of, just inherently, I'm going to be absolutely honest before we get into the show. We about to dig into the show. The first thing that I think of, before I even think about the fact that I just don't really want to fuck around with you, I'm never taking you back to my place. You're not about to line me up. I don't trust you. Before even getting into the I don't trust you part, the first thing that I think of, contrary to popular belief, if we just being absolutely honest, it ain't even my wife. I love my wife. I ain't tripping off of her because I know that we gonna be married forever, and it ain't even on that type of time. I ain't even on that. I ain't on no, you know what I'm saying? I'm not on that. The first thing that I think of is, man, I get caught up with you. What my people gonna think about me? And when I say my people, I'm talking about you. I can't sit here and advocate for you guys to have dick discipline, and then I'm out here fucking around and fucking up the bag. The first thing that I think about, I'm going to read Super Chat shortly. Listen, you can say what y'all want to. You cannot like me. You cannot like the fact that I say what I say. You cannot like the fact that I say fuck your feelings and all of that. But the one thing that you can't say is that I don't live it. I absolutely believe that we have to be a reflection of, when in the marketing video that I just dropped inside of the Patreon, I emphasize that you have to become the thing that you then are preaching to other people. But if you not it, If you not him, if you not her, before you start giving out game and information as to how it is, whatever it is, good or bad. And I highlighted specific examples and all of that. So if you didn't watch that video inside of the Patreon, keep it moving. Seagull Rock says he loved to hear how I met my wife. Go back and watch some other videos or talk to some other people in the chat and they'll tell you. I have to be it. The first thing that comes to my mind, good or bad, if we just being absolutely transparent, is, man, you know what my people would think about me, what my friends, what my supporters, the people that love me every day, the people that contribute to the platform, my bag chasers, my people that I invest in. You know how many people work for me? You know what they would think about me if I'm just out here exercising no level of dick discipline and I start fucking with you? Man, I'm not about to mess up my life for no pussy. How y'all dudes just don't understand that? I don't get it. You know, I'm gonna go into a few different things on this live stream today, right? Because it's always a theme that usually pops out when we start having these conversations. And the theme of today is not whether or not guys are right or wrong. Because even in this Travis Rudolph, I think that's his name, case, man, don't you see that this dude got lined up by aligning himself with the wrong type of people, the wrong type of women? Man, listen. I'm never gonna fuck up a bag for no pussy. For my fellas out there, she ain't worth it, bro. Especially no randoms that y'all picking up at 12 o'clock at night in front of the CVS. Hey, shout out to my man that was in the Cullinan. I've recognized his ability to hustle and get his bag, but apparently this dude has no discipline. No discipline whatsoever. I don't see how y'all dudes are still getting lined up. 90% of the times, dudes don't just fumble the bag just based off some fumbling jump. It's always a woman at the forefront of a dude getting arrested, getting messed up on his money, getting fucked up, getting killed, something. It's almost 90% of the time a dude put himself in a position of getting taken care of, getting lined up. In the same way that we tell women that we have to hold them accountable for who it is that they open up their legs to, because guys is gonna do what guys is gonna do. If he a dude that don't give a fuck about you and all he want to do is bust you down, it's gonna be 100 of them that's gonna shoot the shot at you. You have to be the one line of defense by not opening up your legs to him. A million dudes should be able to talk to you, and you should not open your legs to one of them. That's the barrier to entry in order to ensure that the community is successful. You are the one line of defense. And in the same way, it's the guys. If your money and all of your employees and people are dependent on you in order to level up and be great, there's a greater responsibility that comes along with people being successful, which is why being a bag chaser is not just about getting money. Being a bag chaser is becoming the best version of yourself, understanding that the money, the success, the relationships, the networking, the marriages, whatever, it all comes along with it. There's too many people depending on you. It's too many people depending on me in order to continue. Look, let me say this one thing and then we're going to get it popping. I get a lot of smoke, right? I get a lot of people. There's a lot of people that want to see me fail. And you know why they want to see me fail? Because I'm Teflon Tom. Because I've never been arrested. I've never cheated. I've never found myself in a negative position. I don't fumble bags. I've been raised from a good family. I'm the thing. I'm black, the black community and modern women's worst nightmare. Because I am the thing that removes all of the excuses. I was born in the hood, all of this other type of stuff. I'm the thing that removes all of the excuses as to why you can't be successful. And a lot of these people want to lean on that in order to justify their position in life. That's why they want to say, oh man, it's the system that held me down. It's racism, reparations, all of this other type of stuff. Men can't be faithful or whatever. How can a man hold me accountable? He not even married. I'm all of those things. And because I don't have a felony, because I have not been arrested, because I am a man that takes care of my family and all of that, I become public enemy number one to the very people that you're trying to help. And so with all of the little hit pieces and reaction videos and the lies that's being spit out against me on a regular basis, I don't trip about it because I know it just rolls off because we all know the truth. We all know what the real is. And so with that comes a higher level of responsibility, because it's one thing for people to say something and assume, but it's another thing for them to say it and it be true. It's one thing for people to say something and they just feel a certain type of way about you. That's cool. They can say whatever the fuck they want to say. But it's another thing for them to say it and then be able to confirm it because it's true. And so with a greater level of visibility, money, responsibility, people that love you, you pouring into people, you have to be above reproach. They said negative things about Jesus. They said negative things about Martin Luther King. They said a lot of things. They can assume, but it doesn't mean it is true. But it's one thing for that to happen, and it's another thing for them to actually be able to confirm it. So whenever you become successful, and this is to all of my guys out here that's looking for money, you want to be great, you want to be visible, understand that it comes with a level of discipline that most people cannot handle. You have a greater responsibility to the people that then depend on you, or the ones that's coming after you, in order to hold yourself to a higher standard. You cannot ever, not one time, no mistakes, no fumbling, no getting fucked up, no out here in the streets on some dumb shit. If they say whatever they want to say about you, if they call you names, if they want to say, oh man, they could say that shit. That's just their feelings. But you always are supposed to be above reproach. Never get caught up in no bullshit. Stay above that shit, man.